What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 420 Garage. Let me make sure this camera is on me. The camera's on me. All right, everybody. I'm back. Been kind of a long weekend for me. Just sitting around healing up and recovering. But I tried to make a couple videos, and on Friday I was on a couple of painkillers, and it just wasn't possible. I made a couple of videos, slurring, and it was pretty bad. And I didn't like the way they came out, so I didn't do those videos. I've been trying to make a video all weekend, actually, and it seems like either I was talking too low or there was something or other happening. But let's get to the point and get to the reason you're here. All right, a little bit of progress on the 77 Monte Carlo snap tie kit. And just in case anybody has any questions, no, I'm not part of the Cheeseburger Challenge 48-hour build. This is just something I kind of jumped on. I wanted to be part of the build, but I knew that I wouldn't be able to do what I needed to do in the 48 hours allowed to build the kit. So I kind of just bowed out of the build off. But here's where we are. And so I went ahead and painted the interior on the Monte Carlo. I initially used this right here, which is Tamiya metallic brown. After I painted it on, it didn't look as brown as the cover did. It looked more like an orange. So it wasn't really going with the vibe I was going for, so I ended up changing it up. And I ended up going with Tamiya flat brown and Tamiya flat buff, B-U-F-F. And that's what I came up with. I like the way it looks. Someone commented and said it looked more, I can't think of the word that they used, but it was a good word for it. I just kind of updated the patterns and the way it was painted. Usually back then everything was pretty much the same color like it is now, but had a little more flair. Yeah, I'll show you guys what's going on with that, and then let me go ahead and bust that out. Well, that's where I'm at with the interior. So it's kind of a two-toned interior, I'm going to maybe detail the stuff on the inside. I don't know quite yet. The center console here, I don't know if I'm going to keep it that color or if I'm going to go with the color of the car or if I'm going to go with the brown as the interior. Kind of want to do something a little different with it, but we'll see. There's the dashboard, of course, and the steering wheel. So that's pretty much where we're at with that right now. There's the Daytons. And then here's the block that I'm going to be using, which is a 427, I believe. Now, yeah, it's a 427 that I pulled out of a Chevy Corvette Stingray, 63 vet Stingray. So there's where it's at. I usually don't build Corvettes. I usually use them for parts. So that's where it's at. Nice little pretty carburetor on top. So, and then here's the air cleaner that I'm gonna, whoop, there you go, I fell down. Oop, there it goes. Let's put this back like that. And there's the air cleaning that's going to be on it. Let me pause this because my son is in the background trying to hate on my game. Anyway, that's where we're at. So that's where the engine's looking. I might just keep it without with the air cleaner on it because I really dig the way it looks with the carb. And no, I did not wire the engine. Not a big fan of wiring the engines. Some people can do it beautifully. I'm not one of those people that can do it beautifully. So I do it every now and then, but like I said, I'm not one of those people that do it beautifully. So that's where that lies. You know what I'm saying? All right. As you can see, that's where I'm at with the Monte Carlo build. I'm still working on the chassis. The chassis was right here. It's a reused chassis, so I'm still trying to get some of the glue and paint off on it, and trying to figure out how I'm going to line up the suspension, because I had to pull some parts I had, because the suspension that I do have that actually fits it perfectly, believe it or not, it's chintzy. Unfortunately, it's really chintzy, but it fits in there so perfect, and it lowers it just so perfect. So I might just go that route. I wanted to make it more of, with two pieces. Even the one that came with the stock suspension on the snap tight body actually fits on there pretty nice. I mean, it lines up with the frame rails, but I mean, it fits in there so nice. So I really don't know what I'm gonna do as of yet, because obviously this one's chintzy as hell, and you can see it's got an open bottom on it. So we'll see how that works out. Woo! Whoa. So we'll see how that works out. And then also for all of you, I'm working on the 39 Chevy. The 39 Chevy's evolving. I'm at a kind of a roadblock at the moment. I've been trying to fabricate some bomber seats. I went online and I found a company that makes a set of bomber seats. And they're rather nice, actually. They're made out of billet. Before I go that route, I want to see if I can fabricate some with some pieces I have. I have a couple prototypes that I was working with, and before I even show them to anybody, as you can see real quickly, I'm going to still kind of perfect them before I put them into any of my builds. I want to make sure they look a lot nicer and they're a lot more accurate to each other, because making the armrests aren't easy. Anyway, the 39 Chevy, back to that, the body is completely rusted in and out, and the chassis, except for the frame, just I guess the floorboards in the trunk are rusted. I was going for left in a desert type feel, excuse me, because it was obviously, most of you seen it was all in primer black. So I went ahead and rusted it, and it looks like it's been sitting and rusty, and that's really what I wanted to accomplish. I didn't mess with the chassis on this one, just like on the olds. They both have chassis that are, completely nice and modern. The chassis on this one, it was going to be built for a drag car. Now it's going to be a rat rod. So that's where it lays right now. And I'll show you guys the seats that I used. The seats that I used were the ones that came inside the Ford Stake, because obviously it's a truck, so they're not very fancy, not very flashy. So I'll show you the Ford Stake and the 39 Chevy right now. All right, there's the Chevy. You got the crazy long shifter. I was actually going to cut the hole up in the roof and put the shifter sticking out of there, but I decided not to do that. There's the interior so far on what I'm working with. There's the seats that came out of the Ford Stake. Basic, nothing, no real frills. I might even try to turn those into some bucket style bomber seats, but we'll see. The dashboard is in here already. I could take it out, of course, but it's in there real nice. So it's a real basic type of a dashboard. Nothing, no frills, no thrills. And that's where we're at, of course. Then we have the stake. The stake. And the top flips open. Boop. As you can see, I had some fitment issues right here, which I'm going to massage that in a little while. I've been kind of lazy. I dressed up the engine in it, because this is a stock engine. I just tried to make it look a little pretty. I went ahead and threw some, well, those are the stock exhaust manifolds. I kind of modified them, but I still got to run the downpipe that comes from them for some headers, because I was having difficulty scratch building them and trying to fit them, so I had to put it, and then I'm going to build them afterwards. Kind of like I did with this kit. I mounted the engine before I mounted the headers, because the headers wouldn't fit. That's all to it. It had to be done that way. And so that's where we're at with that. And then I got to build some supports so I can lift this above this back wheel, because obviously the kit wasn't supposed to have a massive back wheel. That back wheel is bigger than the stock wheel, so it's pretty big. And then we'll go right to this kit right here. This was basically I had to refurbish or restore this kit. I was given a bunch of kits at one time, and they were in some pretty rough condition. So I took what I could from those kits to build one nice kit out of it. So that's where it sits right there. I didn't have some of the hardware, so I couldn't flip the front up forward like I wanted to. The window trim was damaged when I tried to clean it off the window. The original window was what color was the original window? The original window was yellow. That's what it was, actually. So I swapped out the windshield with one that was a little different than that brace. But all in all, I swapped out the back tires. But those are the wheels that come with the Chevy Gasser kit. I don't own that kit. I've had one of them, but I know what it looks like. And, you know, unfortunately, I had to work with what I had to work with. So that's what came out. And it's not too bad looking, actually. I think it's pretty tight. Then there's the Ford Cougar, and as you can see, it's got quite the shine on it. I laid some of the clear down on it a couple hours ago, so that's, you know, it's just shiny from the clear. White top, red body. So I'm gonna let that sit for the day and let it get nice and hard. I mean, it's acrylic. I mean, excuse me, it's lacquer and it's probably touch dry now, but I like to let it sit all night and just kind of let it do its thing before I start handling it. And that's where it's at. And the rest of the parts are over there, as you can see. But that's where I'm at with my builds right now. Let me go ahead and pause this. Oh, I don't know if I showed you. Oh, yeah, I did show you the engine. All right, let me pause this. And that's where I'm at, everybody, with the builds I got currently going on. Once the truck is done and the Chevy and the Monte Carlo, I don't know what build I'll go into on my own yet. If I'm feeling tired, if I'm feeling up to it, I might take on my 55 Suburban Rat Rod project. Otherwise, we'll see what I pull out. I got a few different kits that I want to build. A few Impalas, because I like Impalas. I got a 59, 58, 64. What else do I got? I got a 49 Ford that I really kind of want to work on. I've been aching for a shoebox build, so I might jump into that. It looks like a nice, easy, quick build. But other than that, everybody, you have a good weekend. I appreciate the advice everybody asked a couple weeks ago. I did acquire myself some new solution. I like this with the brush much better than putting a drop on shit. Because sometimes that really thin stuff, man, it's all over the place. So I'm glad we had a couple people chime in on that and help me make my decision. So everybody, you guys have a good week, and hopefully I have another video next weekend for you guys, or next week. We'll see. All right, everybody. Peace.